Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Call to Soul Machine show. Today, I have the most amazing guest that I could ever ask for. This guy right here is my mentor, my coach, and has been one of my greatest inspirations to get my business to where it is today. I want to introduce you to Chad Thibodeaux, the most amazing mentor and coach in the world. Yay.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Angela. What an honor to be on with you. And you just know I adore you and love everything that you do. And I'm privileged to be on today. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here with us. And well, the number one reason that I wanted you to come on this show is because you have been one of the greatest inspirations in my business career. The way that you teach from just mindset to business to everything. So one, I want to thank you for everything you've done. And I wanted to bring you to the show so my audience can get a little sense of that amazingness that Chad Thibodeaux has to give to everybody.
Well, let's do it. Let's jump in.
Awesome. All right. So just the number one question we have in this show is, how do you take your ideal client? They're cold. You take them from cold to sold. What is your number one way to do that?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, if it's okay with you, I'm going to share my signature plan, the one that, people like you hire me to implement. It's called the Pointer System. Okay. So if you guys are watching this, I want you to grab a pencil and piece of paper. We're going to dive deep. We're going to jump into this. I'm going to give you my entire process, and hopefully you can take this information, apply it, because listen to me, guys, information without application is simply ignorance, okay? Because all you're doing is filling your mind full of information that's going to clog and get in the way. But if you take information and you apply it, then you get transformation. So I want to transform your life today by giving you some information that you can apply and hopefully do some good things. Before we get to my 7-step pointer system, and Angela, as you know, you can jump in and interrupt anytime. What I want to do is I want to talk with you about this little guy right here, because your mind is the difference between you selling a little and you selling a lot. Your mind is the difference between you selling low and you selling high, okay? And it's your mind. And it's not even like your mind. Like sometimes people feel like we got to manifest stuff. And okay, and I'm not, ditching that. But what I'm saying is in the end, the hardest person that you're ever going to sell on your business is not your parents, it's not your significant other, it's not your clients, it's you. And once you get sold that you're worthy to be able to help people, and you're worthy to be able to charge the amount of money that you want, well, then you can go places. So what I want to do is I want to do a quick little exercise here. And Angela, I'm going to use you to participate with me to see if I can help you get in the right mindset. Okay. So Angela, when you come to North America, you've spent plenty of day at my house. When you come to North America, what's your favorite restaurant in North America?
Okay, let's go for a chain. Let's go to Applebee's.
Okay, Applebee's, right. So when you walk into Applebee's, okay, which is a great American little chain restaurant, when you walk into Applebee's, there's a lady there or a guy there that greets you at the door. Do you know what the name of that is? Do you know what we call that person in North America?
The maitre d', something like that.
A maitre d'. Okay, well, that's fancy. Okay, we call it a host or a hostess. Okay,
there you go.
A host or a hostess. Okay, if you think about this, a host or a hostess, they really have a pretty simple job. They welcome you. They say, "Hi, welcome to Applebee's. How many's in your party? Okay, would you like a table or a booth? Any kids venues? John will be right over." And that's pretty much the extent of their expertise there. Welcome to Applebee's. How many's in your party? Would you like a table or booth? Any kids menus? And John will be right with you, or Martha will be right with you, and they escort you to your table and they set you down. Now, I want you to think about this just for a moment. How much money do you think the host or hostess at Applebee's gets paid? How much money do you think they get paid?
A year?
Like an hourly wage.
Okay, an hourly wage, probably somewhere between $10 to $15 an hour.
Yeah, and in America, the average wage of a host that says, "How many in your party? Would you like a table or booth?" Now they tell you to put the mask on, right? Would you like a table or booth? Would you like any kids menus? And John or Martha will be right with you. They make roughly $12 per hour. So let's just extrapolate. And let's say that hostess works 40 hours a week. If I have my little Siri on me, I do a little exercise for you. But if you extrapolate that, you find 12 times 40 times 52 in a year is $24,960. Let's just round that up to 25 grand, okay? 25,000. So I love to help people create $25,000 coaching programs. And most people say, there's no way I can charge 25,000. And then I go back to them and ask them, wait a second, do you believe that you can add more or less value to your client than someone who says, welcome to Applebee's, how many's in your party, would you like a table or booth, would you like a kids menu, and John and Martha will be with you. They're like, well, obviously I can add more. I was like, of course you can.
Yes.
But that hostess figured out that she can charge 25K. Why can't you figure out how to charge 25K? So here's what I'm gonna do. During step 2 of the pointer system, I'm going to show you, if you'll just convince yourself that you're worthy, I'm going to show you the strategy that you can actually charge a lot of money. Now, I don't know what a lot of money is for you. I know some of my clients, we have people that charge $50,000 to $100,000 for the services. I have others that charge $20,000 to $30,000 for the services. And I have some people that high ticket is charging $1,500 to $2,000 for their services. So I don't know what that looks like for you. I just want you to get in the mindset right here as we get into the teaching that you are worthy. If a waitress who can say, welcome to Applebee's, how many in your party? Would you like a table or booth? Would you like any kids menus? John and Martha will be right with you. If they're worthy of charging the owner $25,000, you're worthy of charging your client $25,000. And I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. Are you ready?
Yes, absolutely. And
Okay.
I have to tell you guys, I've heard this from Chad probably like 3 or 4 times. And every time he says it, I'm like, oh my God, this is so logical. Like, why is not everybody thinking this way?
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. Why don't people charge a lot of money? One of the biggest reasons why people don't charge a lot of money is because and honestly, if we were all truthful about it, is because they don't believe that somebody will say yes. So nobody has a procrastination issue. Nobody has a perfectionism issue. Those are 2 of the big things that keep us from launching or keep us from charging a lot of money. Nobody has that. What we've done is we have attached a negative outcome to our result. So in other words, we don't believe somebody will pay me $25,000. So that's a negative outcome. We've attached that to our price. So therefore we don't charge them. For instance, if you knew that you would go and say, you would tell somebody, hey, I charge $25,000 for my coaching. If you knew that and you knew that they had a 9 out of 10 chance of saying yes, you would go say it. But because you don't believe that they will say yes is why you don't ask for it. And so hopefully in our training today, we'll do it. So let's jump in right here. We're going to go through a 7-step pointer system really, really quickly. It's a lot of information to digest. We're not gonna give you everything today, but we're gonna give you enough to get started. So if you're gonna charge a lot of money for your business or services, it starts with P. Okay, P. So the pointer system is a 7-step process that spells out pointer. It's an acronym, and number 1 is P. Okay, the first letter is P. Now P has 4 P's attached to it. First one is you have to have a product. Now, Angela, I know that sounds so simple, but if you're gonna make any money in online, you have to have a product to sell. That could be, and there's really only 6 types of products that you can sell in the online marketing. Number 1, you can sell coaching. Okay, you can sell consulting, you can sell teaching, you can sell strategy, you can sell mentors, or you can sell some kind of implementation program. Okay, that's really the only 6 things you do. So let's jump through that. Coaching. Okay, so if I'm a coach, I'm someone who helps you get a result by just put this in athletic terms, what a coach is in athletic terms. So I assess your talent and your ability. I create a game plan that attaches to that talent and ability. I put you in the game. I make in-course corrections. I hold you accountable, and I'm with you for a long time, from preseason to the playoffs. That's what a coach is. So a coach is more of a long-term relationship that helps someone like you get results by truly understanding what you're gifted at, creating some game plans to put that in place, putting it in place, making in-course adjustments, holding you accountable, and is with you for a long time. Excuse me. Second one is consulting. Maybe you want to be a consultant. Okay, so a consultant is someone who comes into an organization, not necessarily with a person, but more of a business, more of an organization. And what you do with a consultant is you come in and you assess current reality. You have the ability to tell a business or an organization or even a solopreneur, here's what's really happening in your company. Angela, I know you do some consulting, okay? You and I just worked on a little project together. We assessed somebody's funnel and their business and able to give them, well, that's what consulting does. Consulting says, here's where you are. They take an unbiased and objective approach to where they currently are. They take that assessment, they put it in an assessment report. So in other words, they write it out and say, here's where you are. Third thing is they give them a set of prescriptions to change. They said, okay, here's where you are. Here's what you need to do to change. Then they give them a timetable and some accountability. And it's typically a short-term relationship, somewhere between 30 and 120 days. They are in and out. That's the second way you can make money. The third way you can make money is strategist. Okay, a strategist is a 35,000 view guy or girl. This is somebody who's able to take principles that they put in place for a business, and then any business, regardless of their niche or genre, can apply those flexible principles and get a result. So for instance, many of us know who Russell Brunson is, the founder of ClickFunnels. He wrote a book called .com Secrets, and he wrote a book called Expert Secrets, and he wrote a book called Networking Secrets. And he put these he put these flexible principles in place that are called strategies that any business, regardless of what they do, can apply those, implement them, and get a result. Okay, and so maybe you're more of a strategist. So what I'm doing today with the pointer system is giving you a strategy. Okay, it's a strategy that, regardless of what business you're in, you'll be able to apply and get. Okay, so maybe you're a strategist. Maybe you're a teacher. You're someone who can teach, can take complex things and make them simple, and you want to be a teacher, you can get paid to do that. It doesn't even have to be your curriculum. You can take, you can take Russell Brunson's Expert Secret book, you can teach that book, and as long as you give him credit, you can teach it, just like any teacher does. If you go to the public school system anywhere around the world, those teachers aren't writing their own curriculum. Okay, they're reading somebody else's curriculum, but they just know how to teach it in a way that makes sense. Okay, mentor is someone that is concerned more about the person than they are about the business. A mentor knows that if I work with somebody and I help them get healthy, I can help them get physically healthy, mentally healthy, spiritually healthy, emotionally healthy, financially healthy. If I can get the leader healthy, then it's going to help every other aspect in business. So a mentor is more concerned about a person and getting them healthy than they are necessarily about a business. A mentor has been to the mountaintop and said, listen, I've been there, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to grab you by the hand. I'm going to walk you through the process and get you to where you want to get going. And finally, an implementer. An implementer is someone sort of like yourself, who has some strategy, and they've marketed that, or excuse me, they have manifested that in such a way that it can help people get results through actual products. So maybe this could be some kind of software. This could be an agency, like a funnel builder, a Facebook ad designer, a copywriter, a plumber, a mechanic. It doesn't matter. If you're going to trade a little bit of time for dollars using your talent to get money, well, that is an implementer. Those are really the 6 ways you can get paid. So you have to ask yourself the question, do I have a product? I got to figure out how I want to get paid. Do I have a product? Now, how do you know if you got a product? Well, this is easy. Every solid product has got a name, has a basic description, and has an outcome. Okay? You don't really have a product in your business unless you can tell them the name. So this can't be, Angela's really cool coaching service. No, you got to give this thing a name. Cold to sold, right? It's the cold to sold.
I wanted to tell them about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is something that I see with a lot of my clients. They come in and they don't have a name for their product. But I wanted to tell you guys something really cool. Chad Thibodeaux was the one that came with the Cold to Sold machine show, or the whole name for the Cold to Sold machine. And I want to thank you for that, because we were just rumbling around with the name and it was so hard. And that's one of the things that is really hard for me, to come up with a name for a product. And actually we just came with the names for our packages in our agency. And I love telling our clients, like, hey, you're going to get the game changer. It makes it so tangible and inspiring.
Right? Yeah, because it's a cup of coffee, right? So if I want to sell you a cup of coffee, I can sell you a cup of coffee because you can see it, you can hold it, you can touch it, you can experience it. Most of us don't sell tangible products. We sell non-tangible products. So you have to make it tangible by giving it a name. Give it an actual specific name. Write a 1 or 2 sentence description. letting them know what they're going to get, and then give me 3 outcomes. Okay. So for instance, the cold, so let's just pick on you. Okay. So what's the coldest sold machine? So if the name of it is the coldest sold machine, the description would be the coldest sold machine is and then you're going to tell them what it is. Okay. So what is it?
Okay. So the Cold to Soul Machine Show, it's a place where game changers, entrepreneurs, and business owners come to learn and share the greatest strategies to turn their ideal client from cold to sold.
Okay, so those would be more the outcomes. Let's get really practical. Just tell me what it is. So the Coldest Sold Machine Show is it a live? Is it interactive? Is it a podcast? What is it? So really simple. What is it?
Interactive show.
Okay, so the Coldest Sold Machine Show is a live and interactive show. Okay, so you have to get really practical. So you can tell them what it is, and then you tell them who it's for. So designed to help, and then put your target. So designed to help entrepreneurs, or designed to help speakers, pastors, whatever. Okay, and then you move to do or understand. What's it designed to help them do? It's designed to help them, and then you hit me in the face with 3 outcomes: this, and this. When you get that, regardless of what you're doing, maybe you're selling an online course, maybe you're selling coaching, maybe you're selling a SaaS, maybe you're selling your show, maybe you're selling your agency work, whatever. You got to give it a basic name. So name, then description. The hardest thing with descriptions is being simple. Okay, you have to be simple. Just tell me exactly, is it a live and interactive coaching program? Is it a 12-week course? Is it an online course on demand? What is it? Get really practical, and then give me 3 outcomes. Okay, so that is product. Now we got a long way to go. We're stuck on the first P. Okay, so product. The second is the payoff. Okay, the second is the payoff. If somebody buys your product, name, description, outcome, what's the payoff? Okay, so Myron Golden always says that dentists do not sell sharp needles and long Novocaine, Novocaine needles and sharp drills. Dentists sell outcomes. They sell pearly white teeth and a pain-free lifestyle. That's what dentists sell. Okay, do not sell process. So many of you guys, you get stuck in your business and you got to charge low money for it, because you're trying to sell process. Okay, well, you get 12 one-on-one coaching calls, and you get this little thing in the background, you get this. Who gives a flying flip, right? Nobody does. That's process. Okay, nobody, listen, okay, I don't mean to bust your bubble, but some of you need to hear this today, because you and I believe that the greatest asset that we have to give somebody is our time. So we believe that if we sell 12 one-on-one coaching calls, all of a sudden that should inflate the value. It doesn't. Because at the end of the day, nobody's shopping for your one-on-one coaching calls. At the end of the day, they're shopping for what your one-on-one coaching calls can do. So you have to sell what they're shopping for. Okay, so in other words, when somebody comes to Kaboo, it's really simple. I'm going to help you create a high-ticket coaching program between $10,000 and $25,000, and create online systems to help you sell 3 to 5 every 90 days. Okay, well, that's what they want. They want to sell a $25,000 program, 5 of them every 90 days. Why? Because that's a $500,000 business. And so they'll get on the phone with me, not because they love to hear my beautiful voice or see my gorgeous face. They're going to get on the phone with me because they want a $500,000 business, baby, in their first year. So you have to sell payoff. So when it comes down to the pointer system, we're going to go really fast. The P is the longest one. Product, payoff. What's the payoff for your business? Pathway. This is where people get stuck. If you have a product and you have a payoff, here's what's going to happen. Then you have to create a logical and linear process for your payoff that says, okay, here's where you are, here's where you want to go, and here's my 5 or 6 or 7-step process to get you there. It's got to be logical and linear. So for instance, today I'm giving you my pointer system, POINTER, 7 steps. Okay, the pointer system is my pathway. So current reality is the people I'm working with, they don't have a business, or they have a low ticket business, and their desired hopeful transformation is they want a high ticket business. So if where they are is they have a low ticket or no business, and where they want to go is a high ticket business, all they have to do is POINTER, and if they implement that, they'll get it. That's called a logical and linear pathway. So what's yours? Have you taken the time to create a simple, logical, and linear pathway? And then finally, the final P is proof. Does it work? Does it work? If you have some people, 2 or 3 people that you've worked with that have gotten some kind of result, that's proof. Why do you need proof? Proof convinces you that it works. Proof convinces you that it works. Let's be honest. Okay, nobody's ever sat down and pushed play and watched that 3.5-minute testimonial video. Okay, very few people. But because you have one, it gives you credibility. Because you have one, it gives you confidence. Because you have one, the chances of you having chemistry between you and a client are much greater. So you have to have product, payoff, pathway, and proof. Now, some of you may be saying, wait a second, Chad, I don't have any proof. Okay, I don't have any proof. Well, let's go back. Have you done what it is you're trying to sell? Okay, so for instance, I was talking with someone the other day, and they wanted to charge a $25,000, and they were going to teach people how to create a 6-figure podcast. This is what this particular person did. I'm like, awesome. I was like, how long did it take you to create your 6-figure podcast? And they said, oh, well, we don't have a 6-figure podcast. I said, okay, then how do you think you're going to help somebody else create a 6-figure podcast if you can't create a 6-figure podcast for yourself? Now, before you hear what I'm not saying, hear what I am saying. What I'm saying is if you've gotten results yourself, it's much easier to prove to somebody else that you can get them results. But you don't have to have the result yourself. So for instance, Bill Belichick, the head coach of the New England Patriots, who I can't stand, okay, never even played football, and he's the all-time winning coach. Okay, he's the all-time winning coach of the Patriots, and he never played football. So you can teach people and coach people if you have a solid pathway. If you have a solid pathway. So what you could do is, if you don't have the proof yourself, if you've not done it, then you have to come up with a logical linear pathway that just makes sense for people, and they can see how they can get help. So you can either be like, you know, the person who's gotten the result, so that's called a result-oriented coach, or you can be the researcher that says, the research-oriented coach, which said, hey, Russell Brunson, who's done hundreds of millions of dollars, here's what he says, and let me put that to you. So you can be the research, or you can be the reporter. Okay, and the reporter is someone who says, who just goes and looks at other people and notices what they do, dissects it, breaks it down, and teaches that process. So you can either be the results-driven, the research-driven, or the report-driven. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have the result yourself if you believe you've got a logical linear pathway to somebody else. Okay, so that's P.
May I add something right there?
Yep. Yep.
Awesome. So when I started, and I get this question a lot from people that are starting, like, how do I get those testimonials? And I always say, okay, you can tell stories of other people, but one thing that I did myself was the first times that I was getting a job, like I was posting funnel building jobs on Upwork, I would tell people, look, I've never done this before. This is my first time. I'm just starting. I would really appreciate for you to give me the opportunity to work with you. Mm-hmm. And then I would ask them for a testimonial. And that's how I got my first 3 or 4 testimonials. And I grew from there. All you have to do is be super clear and honest to where you are and who you are, and just build it up from there. At the beginning, I didn't have any testimonials, but I started little by little getting them.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's a little 4-letter word that I always tell people is the key to launching a business. It's called beta, B-E-T-A. Okay, everybody loves coming in on beta, right? So if you're starting a brand new business, okay, people love to be there at the beginning of your journey. So you can say, hey, I'm starting a brand new online marketing agency, doing this, this, and this, and this, and really excited about it. Now, when we go live to the public, you know, our rates are going to be this and this and this, because we believe we can help people do this and this and this. But because we're fresh out of the gate, I'm looking for 3 people to join me on my beta team, or on my launch team, or as my charter members, whatever you want to say. I'm looking for beta members, and you're not going to pay the $12,500. But if you'll come in, I've got a program called, and you can either, I like to call it free with a string attached, okay? I have a free with a string attached program, or a reduced rate with a string attached program. And here's what it looks like. So you're not going to pay $12,500, but if you come in, I'll let you come in for $5,000, but you got to do a little bit of work. I'm going to work my tail off for you. And since you're my first or second client, I'm going to do a really good job with you. I'm not going to sleep until we get you results, but you have to promise me that as we go through this process, if you see any typos in the conversation, if you see any holes in the process, I want you to tell me. Also, when we're done, I also need you to give me 3 types of testimonials. I need a written testimonial, a video testimonial, and then I need you to put something on social media. If you do that, I won't charge you $12,500. I'll charge you $5. Deal?
Deal.
Right. Okay.
Let's
Great
do
deal.
it.
And so, and you can do that for free too. You know, we're not going to charge you anything unless we get your result, et cetera, et cetera. It's called free or reduced with a string attached. That's P. Okay. Ready? We got
Awesome.
6 more of these bad boys to go. Okay. That was the long one. O. This is my favorite one. O is offer. Okay. So you have to have a product, a payoff, a pathway, and proof. Then you go O, offer. Okay, now offer, I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this one because it's so powerfully important. And if you want more information on this and more training on this, feel for you to reach out to me, Angela, and we can help get you some. But offer, we say create an offer, make it irresistible. What makes an offer irresistible? That's one of the biggest questions that I get that honestly most people don't know how to answer. So let me answer it for you. It's this way. There's 4 steps to it. Okay, the first one is measurable results. So you have to be able to measure or quantify the result you're going to get. So for instance, Angela, if you've got a marketing agency, you know, and you're going to help people go from cold to sold by getting lead generation, you're going to have to do the work to figure out, okay, what kind of measurable results can I get? So for instance, you know, if I'm going to pay you money and you're going to get leads from me, okay, I got to be able to say, how do I know I won? Okay. So is getting a lead, is that a win for me? Is getting a sale a win for me? What's a win for your client? You have to be able to understand that and then measure it. Okay, so you can say something like, you know, hey, our goal with Cold to Sold Machine is to help you get 35 brand new leads every single week. Okay, so it's measurable results. Okay, let's just say that. Okay, then the second part is silly math. Once you know the measurable results, then you can go into this idea called silly math. Now, what is silly math? Well, silly math starts with this concept called AVCC. Okay, what's the average value of your client's client? Okay, what's the average value of your client's client? Now, what do we mean by that? So, Angela, if I was working with you and I was going to sell you into my coaching program, okay, let's just say, Angela, what do you charge for your services?
$3,500 a month.
Okay, so what I would know is that the AVCC for Angela is $3,500 per month. Okay, now I got to break that down a little bit more. Angela, about how long do people stick with you?
About 6 months.
6 months. So then what I can do quick math real quick and say, okay, that's $20,000, right? So if I've got, you know, 3,500 times 6 is roughly 20 grand. I know that the AVCC for Angela is $20,000, right? So I can do some silly math. So in other words, so what I know is if I'm running leads for Angela, okay, so if I know the AVCC, here's how it would work, okay? So what I can say is, so Angela, hey, we got this brand new program. It's the Cold to Sold Lead Machine. And what we know is every time you make a sale, it's going to be roughly worth $20,000 for you over the course of the year. Are you with me? Every time you make a sale, okay? So now what we know is internet average, or on the low end of the internet, is for every 6 phone calls you make, you're going to close 1, okay? But let's just say that, you know, let's just say that you've gone through all my teaching, all of my training, and you've been able to do what so many of my clients have done, and you're not closing 1 to 6, you're closing 1 out of 2. Let's just hypothetically do that, okay? If I can get you, you know, 6 brand new phone calls per week, okay, and you can close 1 out of 2 of those, that's going to be 3 sales. Okay, that's going to be 3 sales for you on average of $20,000. That's a $60,000 week. Over the course of a month, that's $250,000. Over the course of 6 months, that's $1.5 million. Okay, now let me ask you this. If I could show you, now that's an extreme case, but if I could show you how we can help you make $1.5 million in the next 6 months, would you be interested?
Absolutely, yes.
Of course. All right. So what I'm doing is, so first I have measurable results, and then I'm doing silly math. Now let's just be a little bit more realistic. Let's say that, let's just say that you can't close 1 out of 2, but let's just say you're average and you close, you'll close 1 out of 4. So for every 4 leads we get you, you'll close 1. Okay. So if I can get you six calls a week, 24 calls a month, that's 6 sales. 6 times 20 is $100,000. You know, hey, if I can help you close $120,000 a month, would you be interested in that?
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, but let's just say that you suck. I mean, you're the worst person in the history of the world, and you're not doing 1 out of 2, you're not doing 1 out of 4, but you're 1 out of 6, okay? But I can help you get 6 leads a week, and you can close one $20,000 client a week. I can help you do that. That would be $80,000 a month. If I could help you make an additional $80,000 a month of revenue in your business, would you be interested in that?
Yes, absolutely.
Right, of course I can. So what I've done is I've been able to help them see the results. So measurable results, silly math, okay? So what I know is if I have a coaching program, let's say it's 25,000, if I have a coaching program that's 25,000, and I can show her over the course of a year how I can 5x to 10x that, then I'm in really good shape. But here's the surprise that I found out that made life so easy. So remember I told you that I was going to make selling high ticket pretty easy for you? Here was the surprise for me. So about 2.5, 3 years ago, Angela, when I first got into high ticket coaching, I went into a room, which you and I both belong to. It's got about 200,000, 250,000 people in. And I just made this comment. I said, if you were to buy a $25,000 coaching program, how much money would you want in return to feel as if your investment was worth it? Okay, now here's what I was sort of thinking that they would say. I was sort of thinking they were going to say 10x, right? Yeah. So I was putting pressure on me, like, okay, I got to help these people get $250,000 in return in order for them to pay $25,000. What do you think the answer was?
26,000.
25. Everybody said, to my surprise, over 8 out of 10 people said, if I could just break even. And I was like, what? Everybody's like, yeah, if I could just break even on my coaching, then I feel like it would be worth it. And that took all the pressure off me. So then I stopped saying, well, I don't have to get them a 5x or 10x. What I have to do then is I just have to show them how they can break even. Okay. And then that made it so simple to me. So here's what I started doing. So I actually raised my rate from 25 to 36. And then I put in the third part of the offer, which is called stupidly irresistible. Okay. Or excuse me, expensively affordable. Expensively affordable. What I said was I want to charge a lot of money, so I want it to be expensive. Okay, so I can make a living off of it, but yet I've got to do something to make it affordable. So what I did, my CAVI program is 36K. Okay, so what I said, it's $36,000, but I'm going to make it affordable for you. It's only going to be $3,000 per month. Now remember, in the silly math, I've already showed them how they're going to make way more than that, right? I already showed them that. In the so silly math, I've shown them how to do more than that. In the expensive affordable, now I'm showing them how I can break it down in a monthly payment plan. But now I'm going to go to the fourth part, and this is called stupidly irresistible. How do I make it stupidly irresistible? I do that by giving some kind of risk reversal. Okay, so remember, first step is measurable results. Second step is silly math. Third step is expensively affordable. Fourth step is stupidly irresistible. So I made a rule that, listen, we'll go in and we'll work with you. We'll coach you. We'll help you create your very own high ticket program. I'll be hands-on with you. And if you don't make all $36,000 back within your first 90 days, that's break even. If you don't break even in your first 90 days, I'll push pause in your payment until you do. Okay. So that's called a risk reversal or stupidly irresistible. So when you're thinking about selling your products, okay, in P, you have a product, a payoff, a pathway, and proof. And now you're going to come down with the offer. You're going to give measurable results, do the silly math, make it expensively affordable, and then stupidly irresistible. Just figure out what kind of risk reversal can you get, and you're gonna have people saying yes a lot more than they say no.
Yeah, how can you say no to that? That's right. Amazing.
Because you've taken the risk off the table, right? Yep. So now let's jump into the third one. I is internal launch. Okay. When you launch a product, you launch a service, you launch a business, you want to launch it to people that you already know. Okay, already know. This is people in what we call your GDP. Okay. So G is groups, D is database, P is pages and profile. You want to launch it to your GDP. Now, what we know about GDP in the financial world is the higher your GDP is, the higher your bank account is. In the digital marketing world, it's the same thing. When your groups are high, your database is high, your page and profiles are high, then everything else is high as well. And so we want you to launch it to those people as well. So here's what you need to know. Write this principle down. Okay. Almost everyone who will purchase your product in the first 90 days, you already know. Okay. Almost everyone who will purchase your products in the first 90 days, you already know. You either know them directly or indirectly. Okay. directly or indirectly. So in other words, don't feel like you got to bombard it with cold leads, because chances are you already have some high leads. So what someone like an Angela can help you do is she helps you go from cold to cold, cold to sold. So some of the people in your network are pretty cold. She can help you warm them up. She can go to strangers who aren't in your network, and she can drive leads and traffic to you to get them into your network, so we can get them warm, eventually lava hot, so you can sell them. But do an internal launch first, because here's what we know. If people who know you will not buy, strangers won't either. Okay, so you have to vet your offer through people you already know. So do an internal launch, do email sequences, do Facebook Lives, okay, etc. So I'm going to give you a little formula for how we sell on a Facebook Live, because people find this really hard to believe that over the course of the years, we've done 2, getting ready to hit 2 Comma Club awards now over the past 3 years, and we do mainly everything organically. Here's how we do it: through content. So I'll show you a little premise, and I'm going to use you as my example. Okay, Angela.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Angela, cold to sold. Okay, so what's the big idea for cold to sold? So like, what's the point of your business?
So it's to attract cold leads, then warm them up, do brand awareness, nurture those leads so they become your greatest fans and your high-paying clients.
Okay, so that's the big idea, the thesis. Okay, so what I would do is I would work with you in creating what's called 10 declaratives. Okay, so what are 10 things you know about that? So just for time's sake, we're just going to take one. Okay, so what's one thing you know about what you just told me? So put it in a declarative. Okay, so put it in an imperative. Okay, so for instance, like if I was doing it, my thesis would be, you know, that high ticket mastery helps you create high ticket programs between $15,000 and $25,000 and sell 3 to 5 of them in your first 30 days. That's my thesis. What's one thing I know about that? So I could say something like, selling a $25,000 product is easier than selling a $2,500 product. Okay, I can say something like, selling a high ticket product at an event gives you 70% higher close rate. That could be something I know about. So just a declarative. So what's one thing you know about what you just said? There's one thing.
Selling to warm audiences is way easier than selling to cold audiences.
Okay, so you could form that just simply says selling to warm audiences is converts higher than selling to cold audiences. Right? So that would be the headline of your post. Okay, your declarative. You just make that the headline, and then you go and you tell me what you know about that. So let me ask you, if I was to ask you to do a 10-minute Facebook Live on that declarative, could you do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course you could. If I was to ask you to write 500 words on that declarative, could you do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Of course you can. So what we do is we take our so I don't have a whiteboard to write this down, but start with theses. Okay, so the big idea. Then you're gonna write down a declarative, or 10 of them eventually, 10 declaratives. Okay, then you're gonna take one of those declaratives, and then you're gonna do a post. That could be a Facebook Live, that could be a blog, that could be a written post, it could be a meme, it could be a combination of all of them. You're going to do that. You're going to tell me what you know about that. Then from there, you're going to move to payoff. Remember, step number 1, we created a payoff, right? So what's the payoff for the cold to sold machine?
Getting high-paying clients every month, so you don't have that revenue yo-yo.
Okay, so you're gonna teach your post. And then, I'm going to be Angela for a second, okay? Hi, everybody. This is Angela. I'm the coolest Colombian ever to do marketing. And today, I'm going to talk with you about how, I'm going to give you the biggest statement in the history of the world. Warm audience converts higher than cold audience. Now, grab a pencil and a piece of paper, because I'm going to show you exactly how to get a whole slew of warm audience. And a little bit later, I'm going to talk with you about how you can take this idea and turn it into reality. And I'm going to teach. Well, I just taught you for 10 minutes on why warm audience is better, or converts higher than cold audience. And I showed you exactly how to get warm audience. Now, I'm going to move to payoff. Okay. Let me ask you guys this. Okay. Let me ask you this. How many, I'm sorry. So that's exactly why I created the cold to sold machine, because I want to help people like you attract 10 times more warm audience and convert 10 times at a higher rate. Let me ask you this. If I can help you 10x, and so then from payoff, then we move to question. If I could help you 10x your business by helping you increase the amount of warm traffic that you get. Would you be interested?
Yeah.
Could you see the value? Could you see the value of what it would be like instead of having a deep freeze of leads, that are just cold and stale? Can't you see the value of having warm ones? Maybe you're a realtor. What do you think would be easier if you were a realtor? Do you think it would be easier to sell a house by calling all of these cold leads, 10, 12, 15 a day, praying and begging that one of them defrosts and comes and buys a house? Or do you think it would be easier if somebody who was ready to buy a house picked up the phone and called you? Which one do you think would be easier? Well, of course. Why? Because warm audience or warm leads always converts higher than cold leads. So how many of you would like to see an increase of warm leads in your business? That's called question, okay? And then you move to call to action. So listen, if you're ready to get more warm leads into your business and you want to see those warm leads 10x so you can 10x your revenue, then you do call to action. Then you invite them to do something with you. Now, here's the mistake people make. Most people do this. So if that's you, I want you to send me a direct message. Or if that's you, I want you to book a call with me. Terrible, terrible. Why? Because payoff, that's process. You sell the payoff. So listen, so what you want to do with your call to action is you want to create something that they do with you on a phone call that they would be intrigued by. Okay, so you could say something like this. So guys, if you're ready to see an increase in your warm leads, okay, I actually have what's called the warm lead matrix, okay? This shows you the exact game plan, the step-by-step plan that I give my high-ticket clients. It's called a warm lead matrix. I want to bring you on the phone and I want to show you in about 20 or 25 minutes the exact steps that you need to do in order to move cold leads to warm leads or no leads to warm leads. I'm going to show you this exact matrix. Now, listen, I normally charge $1,000 for this matrix. Why? Because listen, when we're done with it, you're going to see 50 to 100 brand new leads when we're done with this, but I want to give it to you absolutely free. Now, obviously I can't do this for everybody. So the first 3 are in. So click the button below, book a call with me. And on this phone call, I'm going to help you with this matrix. So if you're ready to get your business to the next level and you want to do this matrix, do it. Okay. Another way to do it is this one. Let's say you have a 12-week coaching program. You could say, hi, everybody, I want to invite you to be part of my Launch Accelerator high-ticket coaching. Now, this is a 12-week live interactive coaching program. And what I want to do is I want to give you the first week of that coaching absolutely free. I don't want to charge you for this. I want to give it to you absolutely free. Now, here's the thing. I want to invite you in to Launch Accelerator. I'm going to give you the first week free. We're going to do our one-on-one phone call together. I'm going to give you some tools and resources. And if you're not absolutely convinced that Launch Accelerator is for you, you'll never pay a penny. But if it is, you get on that phone call and you can see how this can transform your life and transform your business, then I'm going to invite you on that phone call to be part of our family. So click the button below and let's get started with your one-on-one coaching absolutely free right now. So do you see how that's so much more appealing than just send me a direct message or, call me, right? No, give them something, give them a reward. There's a little statement that says what's rewarded is repeated. And so you give them a reward and they'll do it. I promise you. So that is, what is that? I?
Yes, that was I.
Okay. That's that. Okay. Now the last 4, we're just going to fly through. Those are the big ones. POI. I tell people, if you're trying to create a 6-figure business in the next 90 days, just do POI. Okay. You have enough there that you could do it with. Now, I'm just going to highlight NTER, and then you guys will have to watch other trainings to get the rest of it. The N is simply nurture. Okay. So once you make an offer, now you want to nurture it. You want to go back and you want to say, you want to look at your numbers. You want to say, okay, how many people saw the offer? How many people took it? Okay, what's your conversion rate? If your conversion rate is anything less than 10%, okay, then you want to go back and tweak that. Okay, you want to go back and tweak that. Nurture is for those people that didn't buy, go back and repitch them. Nobody ever says yes the first time, so go back and repitch them. So you can create an email sequence to send them to. You can put them in like a messenger bot sequence. You can send them text messages. You can have your virtual assistant reach back and offer them a free call, whatever. Nurture that lead to find out what's going on. So that's N. Okay, T. Okay. Well, with the nurture, you'll also find some tweaks. Okay, you'll tweak the pricing. You'll tweak your offer. Tweak that offer till you get it crystal clear. Okay. Then T. T is build a tribe and run traffic. This is what Angela is amazing at. Okay, one of the things that she's so gifted at is being able to help you run traffic to build a tribe, so we can warm that audience up, so they're more likely to buy from you, right? Because that's what the cold sold lead machine does. And so this is where you need to get Angela on your team, okay? Because she can help you do this incredibly quickly. here's what we know. As Angela said earlier, a warm audience always converts higher than cold audience. So if that's the case, if warm audience converts higher than cold audience, then go build more warm audience, right? Stop trying to sell strangers your program and start using your money to get strangers into your tribe, into your business. When they come into your business, you add so much value to them, they can't help but say yes, okay? So build a tribe, run traffic to do so, okay? Build a tribe, run traffic to do so. I like to give this little illustration. So, Angela, you've met all three of my kids, and a few years ago, I wanted to take my kids fishing, okay? And so I want to take them up to the mountains, excuse me. So we went up to the mountains to go see the snow, and because my kids had never seen snow, and it wasn't snowing. I was really bummed. So on the way back home, I saw all these signs for fishing, okay? You know, catch a fish, no bait needed, no tackle needed, you know, use our equipment, blah, 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 catch a fish guaranteed. So I'm like, oh, we can't see snow. I'm going to take them fishing. So we pull in to the little place where they were selling fish, the ability to fish. And I paid the $28 per person, and me and my three kids, we go in the back. But before we did, the guy handed us this little Ziploc baggie. And inside the Ziploc baggie was a cork with some fishing line wrapped around it, a rusty hook, and a dead worm on that hook. I'm like, what in the world is this? He goes, well, that's what you're going to use to go fishing. I go, well, this is terrible. He goes, yeah, well, when you get back to the lake, and he pointed to the back, he goes, when you get back to the lake, he goes, just stand on the dock, throw that in there, and just wait for it. And he goes, chances are you'll catch fish, and we guarantee it. So me and my three kids, and they were young. They were, at this time, they were 3, 5, and 10. We go around the bend and see this little lake, which is not a lake. It was like a little bitty pond that had so many fish in it. It looked like the water was boiling. It was crazy. And I had helped my little 3-year-old son get his little cork and hook unraveled, and he's just walking around with it, and it happened to skim across the lake. Okay, he just accidentally let it in the lake, and as soon as he hit the water, a fish jumped up and grabbed it, and he caught a fish. And I look over, my other daughter caught a fish, and then my other daughter caught a fish. I'm like, shoot, I should as well. And I throw mine in. I caught a fish. All 4 of us had a fish in the first 30 seconds. It literally is the worst way to do a fishing expedition with your kids, but it is the best way to do marketing. Okay, the best way to do marketing. Okay, you've heard of red ocean and blue ocean. Forget that. They're both oceans. What you're trying to do is you want to create a small pond full of fish who know you, like you, trust you, follow you. They're your tribe. That at the right time, when you take the right bait and put it on the right hook and you make them an offer, they have no choice but to jump up and bite. That's how you make a lot of money in the digital marketing business. And that's exactly what Angela helps you do. So that is called a pond. Get them in your tribe, warm them up, add so much value, and they will be dying to buy from you. I promise you. Emerge as an expert. Okay. Once you've got your product, once you've got an offer, once you've launched internally, once you've nurtured that, and now once you're building a tribe, okay, now you have to emerge as an expert. Now you got to prove that you're good at what you do. Okay, so every single day you need to be offering value to your pond and to the public. Okay, every day offer value to your pond and to your public. The easiest way to do this is go back and take your pathway. So mine is 7 steps, POINTER, 7 steps. Okay, but with my 7 steps, I have, product, payoff, offer, pathway, proof. I have 4 of those under P. Well, under every one of those, I have 3 or 4 or 5 little subpoints as well. Okay. So what I do is I take a notepad and I just start bullet pointing every little micro thing that I know about anything. And then I'm just going to go Facebook Live and I'm going to teach it. Okay. So one of my Facebook Lives, I can just give you that little story about my kids. Okay. And I can talk about Tribe. Okay. You have plenty of content to teach and share. Just be sharing it massively, rapidly. Be consistent. And if you do that, you'll emerge as an expert. Here's what we know. Experts know things. Authorities are known for knowing things. As you elevate your expertise, you then transition from expertise to authority. And when you're authority, the whole game changes. Now, you're no longer going fishing for clients. Now your clients are fishing for you. Now you're no longer trying to sell your clients. Now your clients are trying to sell you to take their money. And once you get there, it's a whole different ballgame. And then finally, R is reciprocity. As you begin teaching every single day, you add so much value to your tribe that people can't help but reciprocate by buying your products. So what's your reciprocation plan? I've done an entire 2-hour training just on that. I'm not going to do it today, but that is the pointer system. So let me recap, and then Ansel, I'm going to turn it back over to you. Okay, P, you have to have a product. You have to have a payoff. You have to have a pathway. You have to have proof. O, offer. It's got to be irresistible. How do you make it irresistible? Measurable results, silly math, expensively affordable, stupidly irresistible. I, do an internal launch. So in other words, groups, databases, and pages. Okay, do Facebook Lives using the process we gave you. Okay, theses or big idea, one declarative. This is what I know about that idea. Go do a post about it, video, whatever. And once you do your post, then mention your payoff statement. Okay. Then after your payoff statement, ask a question. Ask how many people would like to have that payoff. And if so, then move them to a call to action. Not any old call to action. Okay. No DMs, no, get on the call with me. Give them something they can do on that phone call, and your conversion rates will literally increase by 80%. If you're having no-show issues, okay, so in other words, people are booking calls and they're not showing up, the reason is because they're yawning when it comes time for that phone call. Nobody wants to give you an hour of their time. Nobody. But what they do want is they want that payoff that you are giving them. Okay, T, build a tribe. Or excuse me, N, nurture your offer. T, build a tribe. E, elevate it as an expert. And R, create a reciprocity process, which is giving so much value away people can't help but buy. It's
Awesome.
a lot.
Absolutely, it's a lot. And I get it. For a lot of people, they just want to jump from P to R. They want to jump from P to getting results, like having a product and getting results. But now you see that there's a whole process behind everything we do as marketers, as entrepreneurs. There's a huge process to build that tribe, to really nurture. I get people telling me, yeah, I have an email list of 2,000 people. Cool. When was the last time that you emailed them? When was the last time that you contact them? And they're like, I don't know, 8 months ago. Well, guess what? That is not your pond. That is a cold, freezing list just sitting there that has no value. So take into account these 7-pointer system. It is amazing. These pointer system completely changed my business. It transformed everything that I do. And you guys need to listen to it, to really implement it. Remember that implementation is the key to success. And go and look for Chad stuff. So Chad, where can we find your stuff? Where can we go and opt into your funnel, get your awesomeness for everybody?
Well, that's a great question. You would think that I would hear. I'm going to take my phone because I forgot what the link is. Hold on.
I think I have it.
Okay, so the easiest way to do it, if you want to jump on and you want to find something, let me just give you something for free. Okay, and what's cool about this is I don't sell you anything at the end of it. Okay, if you want something a little bit more in depth, you can go to stoplearningstartdoing.com. Okay, stoplearningstartdoing.com. It's an awesome course. It's an online course. It's a paid course. It's basically a 14-day intensive where I work with you. It's honestly, it's one of the best things I have. If you want something for free, you can go to you're gonna have to. It's my perfect formula, but I can't find the link on my phone. But if you just go to my Facebook, it's right there. Okay.
We'll put it in the comments so everybody has it.
I think it's like launchit.online/theperfectformula, but I'm not sure. But she'll put it in the link so you have it. I can't remember what the link is to my lead bank. I wasn't expecting to do this. Wasn't going to give anything.
You always have to be ready.
Stoplearningstartdoing.com.
Absolutely. I love that page. Actually, I was modeling it for the past 3 days. So guys, go and get it.
Yeah, I love it. So. Well, love it. Well, thank you so much for having me on. Yes,
that was amazing. One of the best teachings ever in this show. Actually, the best teaching ever in this show. Let's be honest. So, guys, Chad Thibodeaux. What can I say? Just drop the mic. That's it.
Well, yeah. Well, you know that I'm a huge fan of yours, and I'm we encourage tons of people to go work with you because. Guys, if you really are trying to get your business to the next level, you can't do it without an audience. Okay, honestly, you can't do it without an audience. Okay, if a tree falls in a forest and no one's there to hear it, doesn't really make a noise. Well, if you have a product to sell, there's nobody there to buy it. Do you really have a product to sell? Not really. So you can't really do anything without an audience. So one thing I'd really encourage you guys to do, if you're watching this and you want to build an audience, and I would even encourage you to start small. Okay, if you want to build an audience, reach out to someone like, no, don't reach out to someone like Angela. Reach out to Angela and let her show you her system to be able to help you not only build a product, but be able to build a tribe of people who know you, like you, trust you, follow you, who are more likely to buy from you and buy from you quickly. I've seen her do it with dozens and dozens of people, help get them really good results, and I promise you they should get it for you. So I'm a big fan. I throw all of my endorsement behind Angela and the Cold to Sold machine.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for being in the show. This was amazing. And I hope to see you soon. I can't wait to go to Phoenix and go to the Cavoo Mansion. And guys, if you ever get the chance to go to the Cavoo Mansion and be coached by Chad, please do it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us in this episode of the Cold to Soul Machine Show. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye.